When tragedy strikes a family, rumors can spread quickly, especially when it involves someone as well known as Steve Dulcich, the familiar face from Roadkill Garage. For years, whispers have circulated online that Steve's grandfather was killed in a dramatic shootout. But is that really what happened? Today, we're digging into the real story behind the Dulcich family, separating fact from speculation, and uncovering the truth about this tragic tale. Let's begin with the man who shaped Steve Dulcich's life more than anyone else, his father, George Steve Dulcich. Born in 1935 in the Croatian village of Brusha, George's early years were defined by resilience. After World War II, he emigrated to the United States in 1947 to reunite with his father, John. Growing up in California's farming community, George quickly adapted to a new country and new opportunities. He attended Columbine Elementary and later graduated from Delano High School. Service in the California National Guard gave him discipline and a lifelong sense of dedication. Outside of duty, George was an extraordinary man of strength. A passionate weightlifter, he built his own home gym and shocked friends and neighbors by pressing an incredible 700 pounds. But despite his love of strength training, his real passion was in the vineyard. Working side by side with his family, George oversaw the fields, managed storage, and eventually ran his own ranch. Grapes weren't just a crop for him, they were his life's work. George also built a strong family foundation. Married to his wife, Stana, for 58 years, he raised 3 sons, John, Steve, and George, and became a grandfather to 8 grandchildren. He was the kind of father who set an example through hard work and persistence, values that clearly carried on into Steve's career. After battling congestive heart failure for a decade, George passed away on January 18, 2019, at the Bakersfield Heart Hospital. His funeral at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Delano drew family, friends, and community members who came together to celebrate a life of dedication and quiet strength. But while Steve's father passed peacefully after a long illness, news headlines around the Dulcich name were rocked just 1 year earlier, in April 2018, by a shocking event. Jakov Prosper Dulcich, the founder of J.P. Dulcich & Sons and the face behind the Pretty Lady grape brand, was tragically shot and killed near Delano, California. Reports described the tragedy as both a traffic collision and a targeted attack. Yakov, at 85 years old, suffered fatal wounds, and his vehicle later crashed on the side of the road. Investigators suggested that another car pulled alongside his SUV and opened fire, leaving the community shaken and searching for answers. That devastating event fueled speculation. Was this man Steve Dulcich's grandfather? On the surface, the shared surname and the grape-growing background made the rumors believable. But here are the facts. Steve's father was George Steve Dulcich, the son of John and Marga Dulcich. The shooting victim, Yakov, was the son of Peter and Rosa Dulcich. The family lines are different. George's father, John, and Yakov's father, Peter, were brothers, making George and Yakov first cousins. And that means Yakov was not Steve's grandfather. He was actually Steve's father's cousin, which makes him Steve's first cousin once removed. So while the 2 men, George and Yakov, came from connected family branches, the tragic death in 2018 was not that of Steve's grandfather. It was, however, a loss within the extended Dulcich family, and one that undoubtedly carried weight in the community. In the end, the facts are clear. Steve's father, George, passed away in 2019 after a long battle with illness. The man who was killed in the 2018 shooting was a relative, yes, but not his grandfather. The truth is less dramatic than the rumor, but still heartbreaking when we consider how closely knit families like the Dulcichs are. Although the internet has often confused the two, now you know the real story. Steve Dulcich's family has faced tragedy, but the narrative of his grandfather dying in a shootout is not accurate.